Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film I'm doing a bit of an experiment. We're driving from Chloraka to Kato Paphos, but I'm going to be experimenting with different lens settings. So if we have the map up, first of all, in wide angle mode, we're going to drive from Chloraka down to Kato Paphos. Then we're going to go through Bar Street and Poseidonos avenues and do a loop, and then switch to super wide angle mode and do the same loop, and then go to normal mode, and we'll finish off. So you'll have three options to see which one you prefer. Basically, in a recent film, it was a 360 transposed to a fixed view, and someone commented that, I think it was Tony, that they liked the wider view. So I thought, well, let's do an experiment, and we'll have a film here with the regular wide angle view. And you can see what you think of that. I mean, personally, I'm not that much of a fan of wide angle because I don't like the way it's bending those lampposts. However, these films aren't for me to watch, they're for you lot. So if you prefer being able to see more in the image, then please do let me know. This is the only reason I'm doing this experiment. So anyway, we're leaving St George Beach, and you've got the nice new newly renovated hotel on the right. So we'll have the usual waffle between now and Kato Paphos, and then we'll see what happens when we get there. Okay, basically. So that's all open again. The drone film we did of that was very popular. It's good to know. See if I can arrange a proper tour of the place. And there's St George's Chapel you can see on the right. Weather-wise, this was recorded when the other recent films were recorded, so it's the same gloomy clouds at the moment. But looking out the window today, we've still got gloomy clouds, but a little bit of rain, but not much. It has to be said. I mean, it's one thing having all these clouds, but if they're not going to rain on us, what's the blimmin' point? Now, one thing you will notice, perhaps, is that with the wide-angle lens, you're going to get more of the bonnet. And you can see the dust on the bonnet. That's because it's been very dusty. You can still see in this film there's plenty of dust around. That basically happens in Cyprus. We get dust blown in from the Sahara. We just learn to live with it. I mean, when it gets really bad, there will be announcements in the local press saying people with breathing difficulties to stay indoors, etc. That's another reason why we like the rain to come along and get rid of it. But yeah, so this is, because the GoPro camera we use has numerous wide-angle modes, and there's also wide-angle lenses that you can buy. But before I fork out money on them, I want to see what the audience opinion on wide-angle is in the first place. So this is the road from Chloraka to Paphos. Trying to think what anything interesting I can say about it. My cold, as I said before, lingering a bit. Quite irritating and annoying, but at least I'm sleeping through the night at the moment. Right, you got the Evelfon Hotel on the right, you can just see. And there's a very, very poor quality tomb on the left, which only if you're want to visit every tomb in Paphos you should go and see, because otherwise there's no point. And the turning up here will take you into Chloraka. If you like our films, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and share them far and wide, and click on that little notification bell if you can find it. And if you want to help us out financially, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life and chuck us a few coffees. All coffees are gratefully received, I can assure you. And if you want to help us out but get something back in return, go to our Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/Paphos Life. There you can buy all sorts of memorabilia from Paphos, featuring pictures that we've taken and stuck on phone covers, mugs, that sort of thing. So have a look on there. And also go to our Paphos Life Facebook page and follow that. That way you'll get notified on whatever we publish, be it on YouTube, Facebook, or our main Paphos Life website, which has been running since the end of 2016. So nearly on its 10th anniversary, which is a frightening thought. So now we're coming onto the Tomb of the Kings Road. Got new buildings on the right there. I mean, it's funny because up by the Capital Coast, there's a hotel that is being built. I remember it being built when we first visited Paphos. That's a long time ago now. But we do seem to be making some more progress on it finally now, which is good to see. I remember when this dual carriageway was being built, it took about a good 2 or 3 years to finish it off. Very good petrol station on the left there, especially their car wash. Now, you'll be tempted if you're driving here and you want to like do a turn to just do a U-turn when you get to a traffic light, but that's not allowed. What you should do is wait until you get to the various roundabouts that there are, like the Tomb of the Kings roundabout, which we're just approaching. Because the traffic monitoring these days is a lot stricter than it used to be. I remember when we first came to Paphos, people weren't even stopping at red lights or anything. It was just glorious anarchy, I would call it. And we're coming into the more commercial part of Paphos now. Up here's the turning for the Elysium Hotel, and you got the Duomo restaurant, and after that you'll have all sorts of restaurants, including there's another tea for two. There's a Fat Mama's. I say a Fat Mama's, is the Fat Mama's is there, and I will be having a little tour of this when I'm fully up and about and capable of walking more than 5 minutes without coughing my guts up. So anyway, back to the wide angle view. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion that it would work better for the landscape views when I'm in the countryside. And to that measure, later on today, I'm going to go out for a drive across the Akamas down to Polis and do a couple of films with regular wide angle, and we'll see what that's like. Because it might mean that I save the regular footage for the standard view for city drives like this one, and use wide angle when I'm in the countryside. But I'm jumping the gun really, because this is what the experiment's for. Keeping an eye on the cyclist here. And it'll be a fairly standard drive through Kato Paphos, because it is about doing the experiment and having some comparison. So the loop will start at the Sofiana Resort. I've grown quite attached to that now. I was accused in the past of ignoring it, but it wasn't. I was ignoring. I just wasn't really aware it was there, because there's never an area I booked a holiday when we stayed for holidays. We usually went a bit further away from the centre, and either a villa or a bed and breakfast hotel somewhere. Anyway, we're going around Kings Avenue Mall roundabout and down, heading towards the harbour, going under the walkway. You should all be familiar with this if you're regular viewers. So you got Fabrica Hill on the left, and below Fabrica Hill the catacombs, which are always fun to explore. And if you want to park for them, one place you can park rather than just at the harbour is if you turn right here, there's a few little spaces down there. Now on this film, I would normally drive down to the seafront and harbour area and do a loop, but because I'm going to concentrate on a set pattern. We'll be turning left towards St Paul's Pillar soon. Zorba's the Bakers. It's one of the big chains. They do nice hot food as well. Yes, the bakers in Cyprus really go the extra mile as to what they offer you when you go to them. And a lot of them are open 24 hours. Right, so I'm just cutting through here so I can get to the Sofiana as quickly as possible. You got the Ottoman Baths on the right, and you got the Fabrica Hill open air theatre on the left. It's all ruined. Don't go there expecting to see a performance, I should add. But it's a fun place to wander around, and Fabrica Hill won't cost you a bean. There's the archaeological park is a huge, humongous €4.50. Terrible, isn't it? Or €2.50 if you're a pensioner. Right, so this is where we're going to start our loop. Sofiana Resort, lovely fountain. This is now wide angle, as you can see at the top. Got Ace's Bar on the right there. Need to pop into that on the walking talk, because I briefly met the owner. He seemed a right character, and I thought I'll film him when I'm feeling up to it. So this is the wide-angled view of Kato Paphos. You've gone past a little chapel on the left, and there's flares on the left and boogies. The closed Notorious. They're still waiting for their signs at Marika and Me, looks like, or Marika and Me. The less salubrious part. Do you realise I'm going to have to say this 3 times now? So I'm going to have to come up with something different 3 times in a row. And now here's the water feature, which is lovely, especially at night. I did a little film of it at night, but with the wrong camera, just while I was out doing some Kalispera shots, which, if you follow our Facebook page, will mean something to you. So the film was without any stabilisation or anything, but you can still see how nice it is. Right, so we'll turn round down Poseidonos Avenue. Shame it wasn't sunny, but the main focus at the moment is just what you think of the wide-angled view. I mean, looking at that, to me, as I said, I'm not a fan of wide angle, but that doesn't seem too blown out as far as I'm concerned. But I do need to have your feedback. Because I know that it surprises me when I look at the viewing figures, how many of you are watching these films on a big screen TV. So nearly 50%. So I want to make sure that you're getting the view that you want, basically. Because up till that, I'd started looking at those figures, I'd assume that most people were watching them on a little phone, but that's not the case. So we're going to be turning right just here. And that will take us back up to the Sofiana Resort. Now, one thing you'll notice about the view change in a minute is that you'll be getting more of the bonnet in, because that's what happens when you use a bigger lens, not bigger lens, a wider angle, so to speak. I mean, and the next one is like the super wide. So yes, the bonnet is dusty, but you get more of a picture overall. So we'll just do a little change here. Super wide. Bum, bum, bum. Now, you may or may not notice any difference. I'm not going to put words into your mouth, But this is what Supawide looks like. There's more distortion, obviously, because there'd have to be. But you do get to see more. And after I've shown you all three, I've taken a snapshot at a specific point, so you'll be able to have one final look at what the three versions look like compared to each other. I mean, personally, I think this is too much, but these films aren't for my viewing, they're for yours. One thing they do still have is the nice stabilisation though, which is good to see. So you're seeing more of the water feature now. I have to say, you do have to go there at night. It's amazing. I mean, it's no Dubai or anything like that, but like, they've done a good job on it. So we're coming back down Poseidonos Avenue again. And you've got the Annabelle Hotel on the left, and numerous shops and restaurants on the right, and coffee shops especially. There was one of the chain coffee shops up here that closed a few months ago. I always wonder how a coffee shop in Cyprus could close, because it's like a Cypriot national drink. And who's back at the seafront again? There's a new sign looking lovely. Though slightly bent with this super wide angle view. And if you're tutting at the bonnet in the dust though, just bear in mind water shortages and all that, so it's not going to improve until the rains have all arrived. And they're about 6 months late. Right, so that was super wide angle, and finally we're going to see what it looks like when I do. This is how I'd normally film it. The next one is just bog standard normal mode. So you can't see any dusty bonnet anymore. And all those lampposts are nice and straight, but you have less of a field of view. So let me know which one you prefer. I'm going to struggle now for the next few minutes and think there's something to say, but here goes. So we've got Flintstones. Actually, Robin Hood that was, wasn't it? Flintstones was down there. That's an impressive start, wasn't it? So we've got flares again. Open all year round, as are Boogies. Notorious is open none of the year round at the moment. There's the Marika and Me on the left, waiting for their signs. And the old Lineker's on the right, waiting for destruction. Or possibly that'd be a renovation job and a half, that would be. Whoever took that on would be a very brave person. And there are the Poseidonos Avenue water feature. And there's Keg and Barrel on the left. T&J's fish and chip shops. I do wish they'd open before 2 p.m. and I could have lunch there one day. I can't survive till 2 p.m. before my lunch though. Now we're coming back down Poseidonos Avenue. Going past the Annabelle again. See, there is still a little bit of parking on here.